Tick, tock, tick, tock. Hear that? That's the sound of your life passing by every second, every minute, every hour. Gone, never to return. Now I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Feel that. That's life coursing through your veins. That's potential, that's power, that's possibility. My friends, we're all given this incredible gift called life. It comes with an expiration date. We just don't know when that date is. Could be tomorrow, could be 50 years from now. The question is, what are you doing with your dash? You know, that little line between your birth date and your death date. That dash represents your life, your choices, your impact. 4 things you should never sacrifice. 4 pillars that hold up the temple of your existence. Let these crumble, and the whole structure comes tumbling down. But nurture them, protect them, and you will build a life so magnificent it will take your breath away. Number 1, your dreams. Let's start with your dreams. Oh, how we love to dismiss them, don't we? That's just a pipe dream, we say. Get your head out of the clouds, they tell us. Who decided that dreams are just for children? Who wrote that rule book? I will tell you who people who were too afraid to chase their own dreams. People who settle for less and now want you to do the same. Well, I'm here to tell you something different. Your dreams aren't just valid, they're vital. They're the compass that guides you through the stormy seas of life. Every great achievement in human history started as someone's dream. The light bulb, that was Thomas Edison's dream. The theory of relativity, Einstein's dream. The civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Your dreams are the seeds of your future reality. They're the blueprint of the life you were meant to live. Dreams don't work unless you do. They need your belief, your commitment, your action to come alive. So many of us are walking around with our dreams locked up in a cage, collecting dust in the attic of our minds. We've let the naysayers, the doubters, the realists convince us that our dreams are too big, too ambitious, too unrealistic. The size of your dreams is directly proportional to the size of your life. Dream small, live small. Dream big, live big. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Chasing your dreams takes courage. It takes grit. It takes perseverance. You will face obstacles. You will encounter setbacks. You will have moments of doubt. But that's okay. That's part of the journey. That's how you grow. That's how you become the person capable of achieving those dreams. Crush those dreams. Take them out of storage. Look at them with fresh eyes. What did you want to be when you were a kid? Before the world told you to be realistic, what makes your heart sing? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Write it down. Say it out loud. Share it with someone who believes in you. Make it real. Make it tangible. And then take one small step towards it. Just one. Because here's the secret: you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Maybe it's signing up for a class. Maybe it's saving a little money each month. Maybe it's having a conversation with someone who's already living your dream. Whatever it is, do it. And then do something else tomorrow. And the day after that. Before you know it, those small steps will add up. They'll compound. They'll create momentum. And one day you will look up and realize you're living the life you once only dreamed about. Remember, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to dream. Colonel Sanders was 65 when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Grandma Moses began painting at 76. You have time, you have potential, you have dreams. Don't sacrifice them on the altar of other people's expectations or your own fears. Your dreams are the essence of who you are. They're your unique contribution to this world. Honor them, nurture them, chase them. Because when you sacrifice your dreams, you sacrifice a piece of yourself. And trust me, that's a price too high to pay. Number 2, your integrity. Integrity now, that's a big word, isn't it? But what does it really mean? Simply put, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's being true to yourself and your values even when it's inconvenient. Even when it costs you something. In a world that often seems to reward the cheaters and the corner cutters, holding on to your integrity can feel like swimming against the tide. Integrity is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the more it defines who you are. I have met a lot of successful people in my time, millionaires, CEOs, world leaders. You know what sets the truly great ones apart? It's not their bank accounts or their fancy titles. It's their integrity. It's the fact that you can trust their word. That they do what they say they're going to do. That they stand for something more than just their own self-interest. Integrity is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, personal and professional. It's the bedrock of trust. And in a world where trust seems to be in short supply, a person of integrity shines like a beacon in the dark. But here's the thing about integrity. It's not a sometimes thing. You can't have integrity only when it's convenient or profitable. You either have it or you don't. You can't be a little bit pregnant. And you can't have a little bit of integrity. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But what about white lies? What about bending the rules just a little bit to get ahead? Compromise is a slippery slope. Once you start justifying small breaches of integrity, it becomes easier to justify bigger ones. Integrity is about the small things as much as it is about the big things. It's about returning the extra change when the cashier makes a mistake. It's about owning up to your errors, even when you could easily hide them. It's about keeping your word, even when circumstances change and it's no longer convenient. Your integrity is your personal brand. It's what people think of when they hear your name. It's the reputation you build over a lifetime, and it can be destroyed in an instant. So guard it fiercely. Protect it at all costs. Don't sacrifice your integrity for a quick buck, for a moment of pleasure, for approval or acceptance. The price is always too high. Because once you lose your integrity, you lose a piece of yourself that's mighty hard to get back. Remember, success without integrity is failure. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how high you climb the corporate ladder, how many accolades you receive. If you have sacrificed your integrity along the way, you have lost more than you have gained. Integrity is about being whole and undivided. It's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about walking your talk. It's about being the same person in private as you are in public. And here's the beautiful thing about integrity: it simplifies life. When you live with integrity, you don't have to remember what lies you have told. You don't have to worry about being caught in deception. You can sleep peacefully at night, knowing you have lived in alignment with your values. Take a hard look at your life. Where are you compromising your integrity? Where are you saying one thing and doing another? Where are you letting fear or greed or the desire for approval push you into actions that don't align with your values? Identify those areas and make a commitment to change. Start small if you need to. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Follow through on your commitments even when no one would know if you didn't. Tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. And watch what happens. Watch as your self-respect grows. Watch as your relationships deepen. Watch as opportunities come your way, not because you have schemed or manipulated, but because people trust you. Because they know you're a person of your word. Living with integrity isn't always easy. Sometimes it means walking away from opportunities that compromise your values. Sometimes it means standing alone when everyone else is cutting corners. But I promise you this, it's always worth it. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. You have to look at that face in the mirror every morning. And there's no greater wealth, no greater success than being able to look at that reflection with pride, knowing you have stayed true to who you are and what you believe in. Your integrity is not for sale. Don't sacrifice it for anyone or anything. It's the core of who you are. Guard it, nurture it. Let it be the guiding force in your life. Because a life lived with integrity is a life lived well. Number 3, your health. Your health. Oh, I know what some of you are thinking. I'm young. I'm invincible. I will worry about my health when I'm older. Let me tell you something that's a fool's game. Your health is not something you can put off until tomorrow. It's not something you can sacrifice now and make up for later. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through this journey of life. Treat it like a rusty old jalopy, and that's exactly what it'll become. But treat it like the high-performance machine it is, and it'll take you places you never thought possible. Here's the thing about health, it's like a bank account. You have got to make deposits before you can make withdrawals. And just like a bank account, if you keep making withdrawals without making deposits, you're going to end up overdrawn. And let me tell you, the overdraft fees on your health are a lot steeper than any banks. Now, when I talk about health, I'm not just talking about physical health, although that's crucial. I'm talking about mental health too. Your mind, your emotions, your spirit, they're all part of the package. You can't neglect one without affecting the others. Let's start with physical health. You have heard it all before, haven't you? Eat right, exercise, get enough sleep. But how many of us actually do it? We know what we should do, but knowing and doing are two different things. So let's break it down. Eating right doesn't mean you have to become a health food fanatic. It just means being mindful of what you put into your body. Think of food as fuel. Would you put cheap, low-grade fuel in a high-performance car? Of course not. So why do it to your body? Start small. Add a serving of vegetables to each meal. Swap out one sugary drink for water each day. Choose whole grains over refined ones. These small changes add up over time. Now, exercise. I know, you're busy. You don't have time. You don't have time not to exercise. Regular physical activity doesn't just keep you fit. It boosts your energy, improves your mood, sharpens your mind, and yes, helps you live longer. And you don't need to become a gym rat to reap the benefits. Take a walk during your lunch break. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Dance in your living room. The key is to move your body every day in whatever way feels good to you. Sleep now, there's something we all wish we could get more of, right? But so often we sacrifice sleep for work, for socializing, for one more episode of our favorite show. But sleep isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's when your body repairs itself, when your brain consolidates memories, when your immune system gets stronger. Make sleep a priority. Set a consistent sleep schedule. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Turn off those screens an hour before bed. Your body and mind will thank you. In our fast-paced, always-on world, it's easy to neglect our mental well-being. We push ourselves to the limit, ignore stress signals, power through anxiety and depression. But your mental health is just as important as your physical health. In fact, they're inextricably linked. Stress can manifest as physical ailments. Depression can affect your immune system. Anxiety can disrupt your sleep. So how do we take care of our mental health? Start by acknowledging that it's important. Give yourself permission to prioritize your mental well-being. Learn to recognize the signs of stress, anxiety, and depression in yourself. Practice self-care. And I'm not just talking about bubble baths and face masks, although those can be nice. I'm talking about setting boundaries. Learning to say no, taking time for activities that bring you joy and peace. Connecting with loved ones, seeking help when you need it. Meditation and mindfulness can be powerful tools for mental health. They help you stay present, reduce stress, and gain perspective. And the best part, you can start with just a few minutes a day. Remember, taking care of your mental health isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of your own mental health, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and to be there for others. Don't ignore warning signs. Whether it's physical discomfort or emotional distress, your body and mind have ways of telling you when something's wrong. Listen to those signals. Act on them. Don't wait until a small issue becomes a big problem. Regular checkups, both physical and mental, are important. They can catch issues early when they're easier to address. Don't put them off because you're too busy or because you're afraid of what you might find out. Knowledge is power when it comes to your health. Balance. In our achievement-oriented society, it's easy to fall into the trap of grinding ourselves down in pursuit of success. We work long hours, skip meals, sacrifice sleep, push through stress and fatigue. But at what cost? True success isn't just about professional achievements or financial gain. It's about living a full, balanced life. It's about being healthy enough to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's about having the energy and vitality to pursue your passions, to be there for your loved ones, to engage fully with life. So don't sacrifice your health on the altar of success. Don't trade your well-being for wealth or status or approval. It's not a fair trade. It never is. Invest in your health like it's the most precious resource you have, because it is. Make those deposits every day. Eat nutritious food. Move your body. Get enough rest. Manage your stress. Take care of your mind. Your future self will thank you for it. Because here's the truth: health is wealth. Without it, all the money and success in the world mean very little. With it, you have the foundation to build the life of your dreams. Make your health a priority, not someday, not when you have more time, not when you have achieved your other goals. Now, today. Start with one small change. Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's adding a serving of vegetables to your dinner. Maybe it's taking a 5-minute meditation break during your workday. Whatever it is, do it. Commit to it. And then build on it. Day by day, week by week, create habits that support your health. Build a lifestyle that nurtures your well-being. Remember, you only get one body in this life, one mind. Treat them with the care and respect they deserve. Don't sacrifice your health for anyone or anything. Because without your health, you can't fully be there for the people you love. You can't fully pursue your dreams. You can't fully enjoy this precious gift of life. Your health is your greatest wealth. Protect it, nurture it, cherish it. It's the foundation upon which you will build everything else in your life. Number 4, your time. And now we come to our fourth and final pillar, your time. Time. The great equalizer, the one resource we all have in exactly the same amount each day. Rich or poor, young or old, we all get 24 hours. The question is, what are you doing with yours? Time is the only truly non-renewable resource we have. You can always make more money. You can rebuild relationships. You can regain your health to some extent. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. It's gone for good. You can't save it. You can't store it. You can't get it back. ... matter. Why do we give it away so freely to people and activities that don't deserve it? Time is life. It's the stuff life is made of. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. It's that simple and that profound. We all have things we say we want to do. Learn a new language, write a book, start a business, spend more time with our loved ones. But how many of us actually do these things? How many of us look back at the end of the year and wonder where all the time went? The truth is, most of us don't lack time. We lack priorities, we lack focus, we lack the discipline to say no to the unimportant so we can say yes to the essential. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere. Our phones buzz with notifications. Our inboxes overflow with emails. Social media beckons with its endless scroll. Netflix asks if we're still watching. And before we know it, hours have slipped away, days, weeks, years. Those distractions, they're not just robbing you of time. They're robbing you of your life, of your potential, of your dreams. Now, I'm not saying you need to be productive every minute of every day. Rest is important. Leisure is important. But there's a difference between intentional rest and mindless distraction. There's a difference between activities that refresh and recharge you and those that simply numb you and waste your precious time. So how do we reclaim our time? How do we ensure we're spending it on what truly matters? First, we need to get clear on our priorities. What's truly important to you? What are your big goals, your deepest values? What kind of life do you want to create? Write it down. Be specific. Because if you don't know what's important, everything becomes important. And when everything is important, nothing is. Next, audit your time. For a week, track how you spend every hour. You might be surprised, shocked, even at where your time is really going. Are you spending it on your priorities? Or is it slipping away on things that don't align with your goals and values? Once you have that awareness, you can start making changes. Start small. Maybe it's setting a limit on social media use. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on that book you have always wanted to write. Maybe it's scheduling regular date nights with your spouse or quality time with your kids. Learn to say no. No to the things that don't serve you. No to the commitments that drain you. No to the people who waste your time. Saying no to the unimportant opens up space to say yes to what truly matters. Guard your time like the precious resource it is. Be intentional about how you spend it. Schedule your priorities instead of prioritizing your schedule. And here's a powerful tip. Use the power of routines and habits. When you turn important activities into habits, they no longer require willpower. They become automatic, saving you time and mental energy. Remember, busyness is not the same as effectiveness. You can be busy all day, running from task to task, and still not make progress on what truly matters. Focus on being effective, not just busy. Learn to delegate. You don't have to do everything yourself. What tasks can you outsource or delegate to free up time for your highest priorities? Practice the art of single tasking. Despite what some may claim, multitasking is a myth. When you try to do multiple things at once, you end up doing none of them well. Focus on one task at a time. Give it your full attention. You will be amazed at how much more you can accomplish. Make time for what I call the big rocks. You have probably heard this analogy before, but it bears repeating. Imagine your life as a jar. The big rocks are your most important priorities, your health, your relationships, your personal growth, your biggest goals. The small pebbles and sand are the less important stuff, the daily chores, the minor tasks, the time wasters. If you fill your jar with sand and pebbles first, you won't have room for the big rocks. But if you put the big rocks in first, the pebbles and sand can fill in around them. The lesson: schedule your big rocks first. Make time for what's truly important and let the rest fit in around it. something that many of us struggle with, the ability to be present. In our fast-paced world, we are often living in the past or the future, regretting what was or worrying about what might be. But life happens in the present moment. When we're not present, we're not really living. We're missing out on the richness of our experiences, the depth of our relationships, the joy of simple moments. Learning to be present isn't just about enjoying life more fully. It's about making the most of your time. When you're fully engaged in the present moment, you're more effective. You make better decisions. You connect more deeply with others. You're more creative and productive. So practice mindfulness. Learn to bring your attention back to the present moment. Whether you're in a meeting, having dinner with your family, or working on a project, be there fully. Give it your complete attention. You will find that not only do you enjoy life more, but you also make better use of your time. Let's address a common misconception, the idea that rest is a waste of time. Nothing could be further from the truth. Rest is not a luxury. It's not something you earn after you have worked yourself to exhaustion. Rest is essential. It's when your body heals, when your mind consolidates information, when you recharge your energy and creativity. So don't sacrifice your rest time. Don't wear busyness as a badge of honor. Make time for rest and renewal. It's not just good for your health and well-being, it actually makes you more productive in the long run. Now here's something that might surprise you sometimes. The most productive thing you can do with your time is absolutely nothing. I'm talking about the power of stillness, of silence, of giving your mind space to wander, to make connections, to come up with new ideas. In our noisy, busy world, we rarely give ourselves this gift. We fill every moment with activity, with noise, with input. But some of the greatest insights, the biggest breakthroughs come in moments of quiet reflection. So make time for stillness, for contemplation, for just being rather than always doing. In our rapidly changing world, the ability to learn and adapt is more important than ever. But so often we tell ourselves we don't have time to learn new things. We're too busy, too overwhelmed with our current responsibilities. You can't afford not to learn. The world is changing too fast. The skills that are valuable today might be obsolete tomorrow. The most successful people, the ones who thrive in any environment, are lifelong learners. So make time for learning. Read books, take courses, seek out new experiences, challenge your assumptions. The time you invest in learning pays dividends far into the future. And while we're on the subject of investing, invest in relationships in our busy lives. It's easy to neglect our relationships. We assume our loved ones will always be there. We put off calling a friend because we're too busy. We skip family dinners for work commitments. But relationships need time to thrive. They need attention, care, nurturing. And the time you invest in relationships pays off in ways you can't even imagine. Strong relationships are not just the source of life's greatest joys, they're also the foundation of success in every area of life. So make time for the people who matter. Schedule regular date nights with your spouse. Have one-on-one time with each of your children. Call your parents. Meet up with friends. These aren't luxuries, they're essentials. They're investments in the quality of your life. Now, let's address something that robs many of us of time and energy: perfectionism. Don't get me wrong, striving for excellence is admirable. But perfectionism, that's a trap. It's a thief of time and a killer of dreams. Perfectionism keeps us from starting because we're afraid we won't do it perfectly. It keeps us from finishing because it's never quite good enough. It keeps us stuck, spinning our wheels, wasting time on diminishing returns. Remember, this: done is better than perfect. Progress is better than perfection. Don't let the pursuit of perfection keep you from taking action, from making progress, from putting your work out into the world. In our action-oriented culture, we often neglect the power of reflection. We move from task to task, project to project, without taking time to pause and reflect on what we've learned, what worked, what didn't. But reflection is where the real learning happens. It's where we extract lessons from our experiences. It's where we course correct and refine our approach. Make time for regular reflection. At the end of each day, each week, each month, each year, look back at what you have done, what you have learned, how you have grown. Use those insights to inform your path forward. The idea of leveraging your time. Not all hours are created equal. Some activities give you a much bigger return on your time investment than others. Identify the activities that give you the biggest results. The ones that move the needle on your most important goals. Then focus your time and energy there. Eliminate, automate, or delegate everything else. This might mean saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It might mean letting go of perfectionism in areas that don't really matter so you can excel in the areas that do. It's about being strategic with your time, not just busy. Let's address a common challenge, the tyranny of the urgent. So often we let urgent but unimportant tasks crowd out the important but non-urgent activities. We respond to every email, every notification, every request at the expense of our most important work. What's urgent is rarely important, and what's important is rarely urgent. The key is to learn to differentiate between the two, to have the courage to push back against the tyranny of the urgent in favor of what's truly important. This might mean turning off notifications. It might mean having set times for checking email rather than responding to every ping. It might mean learning to say no or not now to requests that don't align with your priorities. Something that many of us struggle with: procrastination. We all do it. We put off important tasks in favor of easier, more pleasant activities. We tell ourselves we'll do it later, when we feel more motivated, when we have more time. Later is a liar. That perfect time you're waiting for, it doesn't exist. And motivation, it doesn't come before action. It comes as a result of action. So don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now. Take one small step, then another. Build momentum. You will find that once you start, it's easier to keep going. Remember, this time is going to pass anyway. The question is, what will you have to show for it? Will you have moved closer to your goals, or will you be in the same place, still waiting for the perfect time to start? Let's wrap this up with a powerful idea, the concept of legacy. You see, how you spend your time doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. It shapes the impact you have on the world. Every day, with how you choose to spend your time, you're creating your legacy. You're deciding what you will be remembered for, what mark you will leave on the world. So I ask you, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered? What impact do you want to have? Use these questions as a compass to guide your daily decisions about how to spend your time. Let them inspire you to make choices that align with your values, that move you towards your goals, that allow you to make the difference you were born to make. Your time is your life. It's the most precious gift you have. Don't waste it. Don't squander it. Don't give it away carelessly. Invest it wisely. Spend it on what truly matters. Use it to chase your dreams, to nurture your relationships, to grow and learn, to make a difference in the world. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do with the time you have. Make it count. Make it matter. Make it extraordinary. The clock is ticking. Your life is happening right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Now, this moment, this is your time. Use it well.